The Houston Rockets just beat the Utah Jazz in Summer League, knocking them out. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about Cam Whitmore. How good is he? It's the Hoop Nerd Show. All right, guys. So the Houston Rockets just beat the Jazz in Summer League. We've gotten a pretty good sample size of Cam Whitmore, who he is and what he is, and a little flavor of what he is as an NBA player. And let's just talk about it a little bit. Normally we do the Utah Jazz postgame show, but the Jazz rested literally every player on their team tonight. So just a quick recap of the Jazz is there's a guy named Kihei Clark on the Jazz. Summer League squad. I don't know who Kihei Clark is. Nick Ongenda looked nice for the Jazz. Maybe he'll get a camp invite. And then Micah Potter, who is a Salt Lake City Stars mainstay, will likely stay on the Salt Lake City Stars. Normally we'll talk more about the Jazz, but there was just not a lot to talk about. Today we're going to talk about Cam Whitmore, and let's just do that. Cam Whitmore. All right, so I recently did a top 10 rookies big board from Summer League, and a lot of you were trying to bully me in the comments about Cam Whitmore. And believe me, I've been watching because I was interested in Cam Whitmore and I wanted to watch him on the Houston Rockets. I've been watching the games. And, as a team that had 16, the Jazz go with Keontae George. A lot of Jazz fans were wondering, why didn't they take Cam Whitmore at 16? And Houston Rockets fans obviously are excited about getting him at 20. And so the big story has been Cam Whitmore is likely the steal of the draft, which could be very true because he was slated to be kind of like top 5 at times. Most people had him in the top 10 range, and a lot of people had him top 5. He falls to 20. Let's see. Let's just go to the display here, and we're going to make me smaller. And let's just look at, first off tonight, let's talk about the good, the bad, and then we'll talk about the conclusion, I guess. But first, Cam Whitmore tonight started off really slow, but then he really figured it out, especially late. He hit 2 off-ball threes, knocked them down, put the Jazz away. It looked really nice. He ends tonight, one of the questions was, how efficient is he? What can he do? How will he shoot the ball? Because shooting the ball was one of the questions. And does he pass the ball? Well, tonight he had 3 assists, and he looked like he was actually moving the ball pretty well. And he goes 9 for 17 from the field, 4 for 11 from 3. 2 of these were those late spot-up threes that he knocked down. He put the Jazz to bed. 25 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Filled up the stat sheet. Really nice. If you're a Houston Rockets fan, there's nothing you can do but be encouraged. He's showing improvement after what was a rocky start to both this game and to the beginning of Summer League for the Rockets. So, promising thing. I pulled up all the games from Summer League so far, and let's just go through it. So, and I guess, we're talking about the good. I guess that's what I want to say. The good from Cam Whitmore is we've seen him improve. He has gotten better. He is shooting the ball better as Summer League has gone on. He had that game number 2. He had a pretty good shooting night, pretty good, but he has shown that shooting stroke a little bit better. He has shown the explosion that we expected. He is able to just dunk the ball. He's got speed. He can if he's got an open lane in the basket, he can definitely take it. And one of the things I noticed is, and JJ Redick was talking about it, he did a pretty good job mentioning this, and it was true for sure, is that when he makes just a quick decision, if he's not thinking too hard, he can really do some nice things. Like the best example of that was in this game when he takes those spot up threes and he knocks them down. He didn't do any sort of cross through dribble or anything like that, step backs, trying to figure things out and then do a pull up fadeaway 3 or anything like that, which is when he's starting to get into his problems. It's just get the ball and shoot it and knock it down. He's already looking like his spot up 3 might be really nice. And can he learn to play off the ball? Because, that's the potential with Cam Whitmore. And if he can do those things, then he can become great. And then he can slowly add to his game. But I think one thing Cam Whitmore is going to need to do is have some patience, because I think he's kind of an on-ball player, which is kind of what you want in the draft. But he doesn't have those refined on-ball skills yet. He is just not a super refined ball handler. He's not a refined passer. He's not a refined pull-up shooter. And so those things are just things he's going to have to work on. It doesn't mean he's terrible at all those things, but they're things that he can definitely improve on. Now, the good things about him, explosive athlete. He's physically strong, and you saw him multiple times during this game overpower guys like Micah Potter. There was one play I really liked. It was a simple little play. He's going at Micah Potter. He uses his size to get position, and it looked very repeatable to me. There's sometimes where I've watched Cam Whitmore and he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing and he's just trying to overpower people, but that's not always going to work in the NBA because you're going to run into big bad dudes in the league and it's just not going to work. And so you're going to have to learn when to overpower, when to be creative, and when to pass the ball. And that's what every NBA player has to learn. So anyways, let's go through and look at this a little bit. Key himself, $2. Thank you, my friend. Are you happy we got Key over Cam now? Huh, James? I think so, at least now, from what we've seen with Keontae George. I think so. Although I think Cam Whitmore does have some real upside. Although Keontae George looked phenomenal. So you know what? If you're a Jazz fan, I don't think you're too worried. But I also think if you're a Rockets fan, you should be excited about some of the signs you're seeing from Cam Whitmore. So I'm happy with Keontae George. He looked incredible. I think he's the answer for the Jazz at point guard, to be honest. But anyways, back to the Cam Whitmore thing. Let's see. So this is the first game. This is the game against the Trailblazers. You had the premiere of Scoot Henderson. Jabari Smith, one thing you've got to be excited about if you're a Rockets fan, by the way, Jabari Smith looks amazing. And I'm happy for Jabari Smith. What's going on with him is amazing. This game, the numbers weren't exactly pristine, but look at that. 17 free throws for him in that first game. Sorry, this is not a Jabari Smith pod, but Jabari Smith looks fantastic to me. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 33 points. I'm happy for Jabari because I think last season was pretty rough for him, and he showed why he is a nice prospect for them and, future long-time Rocket playing in that starting lineup. And we'll see how good he becomes, but I think he can be really good. Cam Whitmore. So in this one, this is the one where you kind of start to go hey, 5 for 18 from the field, 1 for 6. We saw all the bad side. We saw he's not super creative finisher right now. He's not very good at figuring out when to finish, how to finish, when to pass off. He just tries to overpower guys, which is what he did in college. Because guess what? He's the biggest, baddest dude his entire life on the court. And every day of his life, he's been able to just overpower you. All of a sudden, you get in the NBA, and even in Summer League, you're going up against some big guys and big prospects and solid rookies. Not the same. The worst guy in NBA Summer League is, at worst, a 4-year vet in college. Kihei Clark, I kind of made fun of him. He's a 4-year player from Virginia. He's 5'10", but you know what? Solid college starter. And he's like the worst of Summer League. Some of these guys are like guys that play in Europe and are, they're tough guys. They know how to play. They're smart. They've been playing for a long while. You've got rookies who are ready to go. And this was a good draft too, by the way. You're going up against guys like Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, OKC, guys like that. So anyways, the shot wasn't there. And you look at the Portland Trailblazers, they've got Chris Murray, nice rookie for them. Shaden Sharp is a second-year guy, and he is an absolute crazy athlete, and then obviously Scoot. So we don't see the best from Cam Whitmore, but I think you can chalk this up to being his first real welcome to the NBA moment. I got to figure things out. So then we play the Detroit Pistons, Asar Thompson, all these guys from that team. Pretty loaded Summer League squad, to be honest. James Wiseman, Jalen Duren, all these guys. Marcus Sasser, first-round pick, I believe. And then Jaden Ivey, sophomore player, really solid NBA player. So Cam Whitmore's going up again. And you see here, he has a pretty solid night. Honestly, 9 for 16, 3 for 7 from 3, 21 points. He has just 2 assists, but that's pretty good because he's playing off of Jabari Smith and a lot of other really nice players for them. Amen Thompson's playing in game 1. Maybe the ball's not in Cam's hand as much. But anyways, solid night. I mean, you can't be mad at these types of numbers for Cam Whitmore, to be honest. Those are pretty good numbers. And, he had 11 rebounds in this first game. This game he has just 1, but that's just fluctuation. So, interesting stuff. Third game, this is against Oklahoma City. Stacked squad. Whitmore struggles in this one. 6 for 14 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3. This is where he's just going to have to learn, to be honest, because I believe Chet played in this game, and Chet is going to, or did he? No, maybe Chet didn't play in this game. Okay, you did have Case and Wallace, but Yeah, so this is one where you're like, you know what? This is, I thought Chet played. He did not. Cam Whitmore goes 6 for 14, 1 for 8, and this is against a lesser squad. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, solid stuff, but it's against their kind of backup G League unit. This is where you're just like, you know what? This is where people can be a little worried. And the people who bullied in my video, this is where I have some question marks. Because look, 6 for 14 and he can't knock down a 3. Doesn't mean he can't be a good shooter. Doesn't mean he is a bad shooter or anything like that. But what it means is that he has to figure things out. He has to start developing. So much of development with these guys, and some of it is they learn skill sets or they improve on skill sets like just shooting, Although some of these guys, I feel like sometimes you're either a shooter or you're not. The guys that are incredible athletes and all that also figure out their jump shot, those are the guys that kind of become superstars in a lot of ways. But a lot of guys, you're either a shooter or you're not, and some of these guys kind of figure it out or develop it. I think Cam Whitmore can shoot the ball. I think the issue with Whitmore is he's got to learn what his strengths are shooting and what they're not. And I think right now for him, he is not a very good on-ball shooter. And when I say that, I mean he's not a guy that can put it between his legs and then step back and knock down a 3. I just don't think he's going to consistently knock that down. For now. Doesn't mean he can't develop that. It doesn't mean he can't get better, because he definitely can if he puts in the work and if he figures it out. And he's got that mentality to just get better, work hard, all those things. Those are what all the stars do. Can he do those things? Then I think he can figure that out. What I saw tonight is that he definitely can be a spot-up three-point shooter. If he can be a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. So if Amen Thompson has the ball, or if Fred VanVleet has the ball, and Cam Whitmore is on the wing or in the corner, gets that three-point shot and just takes it, I think he can knock those down. That's what I saw tonight. I don't have any way to watch these three-point attempts again and go through them. But what I saw tonight was really promising, because and there's no reason why Cam Whitmore can't kind of figure out how to be that off-ball player and then add those elements of on-ball play to his game, because I think he's that type of talent that can be that. I do think, and this is where so we've talked about the good. Don't bully me, Rockets fans. Don't bully me in the comments too much. Just a little, okay? Not too much bullying. What I'm going to say here is the cons. Doesn't mean he's not good. Don't take offense, okay? All right. He looks a little small to me. He looks on the small side of 6'5". Like, he looks more 6'4" to me than he does 6'6", okay? He looks a little small. He's super built. He looks like a free safety out there. He's strong. You can absolutely tell, but he does not look super big to me. And I know some people talk about the ball handling like he's low to the ground. Well, when I'm watching him just stand there, he doesn't look that big. He looks pretty small. He looks more shooting guard to me than small forward. So he's going to have to figure out his spots. There's been guys that are ultra athletes that are like 6'4" that have been amazing. One, Charles Barkley, is one of the best players of all time at power forward. Charles Barkley, and he was like 6'4". He's just an insane athlete. He just was, honestly, so great. And it doesn't mean that Cam Whitmore can't play small forward. He might just be a little small for that. But I think he can still be good. He also has not shown that ability to pass the ball at an elite level. Tonight, he did a good job. 3 assists, and he showed he can move the ball. So maybe that's not an issue. Maybe with Ime Udoka, he can figure out how to find his role and find out who he is, because that's what every NBA player has to do, especially guys that have to develop. And I think Cam Whitmore is definitely a guy that needs to develop. And I think everyone planned on Cam Whitmore needing to develop. I don't think anyone was talking about Cam Whitmore like he was going to come into the league and be this finished product. He has to develop. And right now we're seeing the worst of Cam Whitmore. Can he get better? I think he will. But those are things he's going to have to work on: decision-making, passing. He's going to honestly have to work on his attitude a little bit. There's not a lot of great body language, and maybe that's just how he is. Maybe he has resting mad face or whatever for guys. I don't know what you say for guys with that. But he might need to work on that a little bit. Have a good attitude. And taking good shots, passing the ball, things like that. But that's every player. Every NBA rookie needs to learn those things. It's rare that you come in and you're just phenomenal at everything, right? You have to develop, and it takes time. But anyways, he looks a little small. Got to work on his decision-making. I haven't seen a lot of creative finishing from him for someone so explosive and so strong and so, just an above-the-rim athlete. I'm not super impressed with his ability to kind of, the best in the league right now at under the rim finishing and finishing with layups and things is Kyrie Irving. He's absolutely the best. There's no question. Anyone who disagrees is just incorrect. It's Kyrie Irving. Cam Whitmore has not very much of that ability to put the ball in the basket if it's not a dunk. Doesn't mean he can't do it, can't show it. But a lot of that, I think, is decision making. You've got to make a lot of mistakes so you can learn when not to do things and things like that. But I think he's got to figure it out, and he's got to work on his finishing. That's just something a lot of players have to do. Learn how to finish in different ways. And I think he can do it because he's an explosive athlete, and he's got a lot of talent. Tons of talent. But anyways, yes, DWCB. Cam looked great, not fantastic. I'm okay with Key for now. I'm personally fine with Keontae George. He looks phenomenal. Go watch those games. And by the way, that was being guarded by their best guys. And that included Salt Lake City Summer League too, by the way. Really impressive stuff. But anyways, that's what I've got to say about Cam Whitmore. I think it's a little bit of, there's a bit of the good, there's a bit of the bad, there's a bit of the ugly, and there's a bit of the promising, right? There's a lot of things to be happy about if you're a Cam Whitmore fan. If you're a Cam Whitmore detractor, if you're someone that says, I think Cam Whitmore sucks, well, there's things you could go to and say, well, there was this, and this, and we talked about them already. And so I basically think if you're an anti-Cam Whitmore guy, you basically have all the ammunition you need. If you're a pro-Cam Whitmore guy, you have all the ammunition you need, whoever needs it. And knowing that all NBA fans are super logical and super willing to discuss the nuances of different elements of the game, I'm sure this NBA season will be great. Anyways, that's why we have channels, so we can talk about it. That's all I got today, but let's give a shout out to our All-Stars, guys. For the Jazz fans watching, I'm sorry. There was like literally not very much Jazz things to talk about. Micah Potter, I don't think he's really going to be much for the Jazz at all. And that was, I do think that as I pull up the thing here, I do think Nico Agenda, I can't remember how to say that. Was it Agenda, whatever it is. The Agenda on Nick, the Agenda. I like that. But oh, do we get a new All-Star? Holy smokes. Who we got in the chat? Jake, are you here? Jake C. We got a new All-Star, baby. Key himself, $2. Resting PRICK face for you guys. Just FYI. Resting prick face. Key, you're amazing. Also, thank you for the $2. Jake C's an all-star. We've got to get him his nickname for joining the All-Stars. By the way, you join the channel. You support the channel. I appreciate it. Jake C joins the channel. We've got to get a nickname for Jake C. Holy smokes. Jake C joins the channel. Stealth mode. Jake C. Listening to a podcast right now called Sad Oligarch, and the guy's name is Jack Honrahan, and he has the lowest voice. Jake C. Clarkson. Interesting. Jake's can't see me like John Cena. Can't Jake see me? Can't Jake see me? I like that. Can't Jake see me? I don't know Jake Cena very well. Jake C for JC. Can't Jake see me? You can't. Could that be weird? Can't Jake see me? Could that be construed in an appropriate way? Can't Jake see me? Because we've got see ya Lexa later. We can't do Jake see ya later, so we can't do that. Jake C3PO. Can't Jake see me? Can't Jake see you? Can't Jake see you? I kind of like that. DWCB. That's not bad. Jake C. Jake can. Don't say he can't. Jake can. Don't say he can't. Jake C can. I don't know. Does that work? Jake C. Jake C. Like one word. Jake C. Jake C. See Jake. Jake C. Jake. Jake C. C stands for cool. Yes, Jake can. Yes, Jake can. I kind of like that. Yes, Jake C. Yes, Jake can, baby. I think I like that. Don't say he can't, because yes, Jake can. Yes, don't say he can't. Yes, Jake can. Is that our longest nickname? Maybe DW, you might have the longest. DWCB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer. No, don't say Jake C can't, because Jake C can. Jake C can, baby. All right, that's it. Jake C, baby. Welcome to the All-Stars. We've got a future Keontae George on our hands here. Jake C, Jake Keontae George. That's pretty good. I think I like Jake C can. Jake C can. Jake C can. Yes. Jake C can, baby. All right. An updated All-Star list. We got 2 back. Did someone come back? I think someone came back. I think Baby Elliott Matson, or I can't remember who's back. One of you came back. Thank you, guys. I don't know who it was, but thank you. All right. Let's give a shout out to our All-Stars. Jake C. Can, Baby Elliott Matson, Christian House Money to Haas, Ezekiel Rice-Ibe, the man from down under, Suya Lexolator, Bill Ford Tough, Alexander Tufts, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo, Jordan the Goat, Best Rule, TGD, Total Game Domination, Tyson Price, The Price is Right, X marks the spot for Zintas, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, DWCB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur, and Robert Hall of Fame. Thank you guys for being a part of the channel. Thank you for supporting. If you're new here, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next time. Summer League's over. What's next? I guess some animations. I'm going to do some news things. The channel's growing like crazy. By the way, as this ends, I'm just going to say the channel's growing. I'm excited about it. We're going to be doing you guys have seen me work through this because you've been a part of this for a while. NBA and Utah Jazz, basically NBA channel with live streams post Utah Jazz games, but we talk about both teams, and then we'll be doing lots and lots of just NBA content. So this channel is just going to be a lot. So make sure you've liked and subscribed to the channel and you stay here. Ring the bell for notifications, by the way, so you know when a video goes up, so that you know when we go live, so you can be here. Yes, subs of 10K on the way, baby. That's right, DW. We're getting to 10K. That gets me actually to a new YouTube tier, and I'm curious to see what happens. Do I get a little more boosts once I hit 10K? I'm kind of interested because I have a small feeling, but things have been going really well. We are getting subscribers at a really cool and good rate, and I've kind of figured some of these things out. So anyways, expect more videos. Expect more from the Hoops Nerd channel, because it's a lot of fun, it's growing, and I will talk to you next time.